Hi, this is Amara. I wanted to pop on and tell a little bit of my story of how I got to the place where I'm at, from professional organizer to spiritual tour guide. And so here's a little bit. When I was a little girl, I used to write poetry to God, and I looked for fairies in the moss under trees. And I was this kind of dreamy kid, very creative and quiet. And I always believed in spirit. And some of my poetry went something like, God is all around us, God is everywhere. And I have more lately gotten the idea that God is also within. It's not just all around us, but it's within. So that is called panentheism. And so I had a brief, or maybe long, I'm not sure, period of time after high school when I was very involved in going to synagogue. And during high school, I was in the youth group, and I was, a leader in the youth group, was vice president or something, and I did a lot. I would drag my parents to synagogue weekly, which they needed to drive me because I didn't have a license yet. And then I went after I got my license by myself. And then in college, I kind of lost interest in religion and spirituality. And I had a period of time when that was not so interesting to me. And then my mother passed away in 1991, and I felt like I had lost a piece of myself. And I just happened to notice. This is my mom and me when I was young, and I went to a shaman. A friend of mine brought me to a shaman because I would never have sought that out on my own. But the shaman did what was called a soul retrieval and went into my spirit looking for pieces that had splintered off, and then returned them, and said some really amazing things that there's no way she could have known. And I was intrigued. I wanted to find out more. So I kind of started doing some exploring and meditating daily. I have been in therapy, and my therapist gave me a prayer bench, so I would sit and do meditation. And then I decided that I wanted to learn more about shamanism, so I signed up for a shamanic journey program, which was in Metuchen, New Jersey. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was massage school and shamanic school and together. And I really didn't have any interest in being a massage therapist, but that was how I was going to get my shamanism training. So I spent 6 months doing that, and I learned a lot. And I learned a lot of stuff that I wanted to know. We also, during that, the teacher asked us to eat South American dirt from some shamanic journey trip she had been on, which really grossed me out, but I did it and I didn't die. So actually nothing happened. I didn't get sick. It was fine. I tend to be kind of fastidious, and that was like not a thing, but it was fine. And then I wanted to learn how to be a priestess. That sort of came to me, that was interesting to me. So I sought out in Barnes & Noble. I found a flyer. I think this was in 96, maybe, something like that, for Triple Goddess Ancient Mystery School, and I signed up for that. That was a 9-month program. And by the end of the program, which had, I don't know, a dozen women in it, at the end of which there were 2 women left, me and my friend Blaze, who I met through that. And she and I and several other women decided that we were going to form a coven, a church, a Wiccan group. And I don't know that I really ever considered myself to be exactly Wiccan, but I liked the theology. It was very earth-based and nature-oriented and to some degree non-dual, because I have this idea that, God is in everything. It didn't really seem to make sense that God was somewhere up in the clouds looking down on us, even though that's the God that I grew up with in the synagogue. And so we formed this group in 1997, which has been in existence. It's still in existence, and I'm still a part of that. It's called Hands of Change. And then I guess at the beginning of the Great Pause, decided that I really was done being a professional organizer, which I'd done off and on for 20 years. That's a whole nother story of how I got into that. But so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do spiritual stuff from now on. And every once in a while I do some organizing, but that's not really my thing. And I'm on the salary of God, so it doesn't seem to matter whether I go work in the world for money or if I sit at home and just send love to people. I still seem to have money coming to me no matter what I do. So that's kind of where this journey has taken me so far. I'm cooking up right now a program about prosperity because I did a lot of struggling to get to this place. And then I suddenly figured out, after all that, so many years of struggle, that that abundance is really not difficult to get. It's easy to get, and it's easy to be in an abundant place. So I want to share that with how that happens with other people, and so that you can look for that sometime soon. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more about me if you don't know my background, but that's who I am, and I love you, and I can't wait to share more.